Hello the internet, my name's Laura and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a whole bunch of stuff to show you guys, to share with you guys. A lot of it is right over here. Anyway, I was planning on doing just like an update of some plants. And then I came down here and realized that I had some other stuff to show you, and then there was a package sitting outside that is plant related, and so we're just gonna I'm gonna throw all of it at you because I don't want to make it into a whole bunch of different videos. I'm just gonna put it all into this one. Okay, so, I'm not sure what the best order to do this in is, but you know what, this guy's here. So, I went out, and I was at Home Depot. I think this was at Home Depot. And I was looking at pots because I was looking at pots. And I found this guy, and if you look, there's a nice crack going down here, and there's a nice crack going down here. And the cracks do not go all the way through the pot. This one, in fact, only goes to about there. This one does actually go all the way down, and then the little, this one does actually go all the way down, and the pot here is chipped, but I got it for 25% off. And I'm basically just going to stick it back together with some epoxy to kind of strengthen up these cracks here, and then just probably put it all, you know, down on the inside, and then maybe even do some of that the gold epoxy setting thing on the outside, and strengthen it up, and then use it as a cast pot for, I think I'm gonna put my Monstera in here. I'm gonna put like the nursery pot in here. But it was just really, really pretty, and I got it for 25% off because it was broken and I can fix it. So I got that, but yeah, so my little box over here, I got some more of my epoxy stuff because I actually ended up using all of it on some other things. What else did I get? All right, that's going in there. They had an adorable little watering can, and I wanted a little one where I can actually like get to the plants in the back of my shelf without having to like pull them out. So now I can actually water them without having to pull them out, and I think that that'll be actually a little bit easier. So I picked that up because of that reason. But it was only like $3 or $4. It wasn't very much. I mean, it's a tiny little thing. It's just made out of plastic, but it's all cool. Put down there. Okay. Then I went to the thrift store, and I found a whole bunch of other cool things. I found this set of pottery that's just like, it came in a set, so I've got 3 of them like this, and they are most definitely like chipped and cracked and all kinds of whatever. Not in the best of shape, but I mean, like the size of that, I think I'm gonna drill a hole in there, and the size of that is really good for like a pot, or you know, for putting a plant in. And then I also found these matching cups, or at least they seem like they should be matching. So I got these cups that are like in a similar style, and also going to drill through these guys and then like use these as pots, which are just, you know, they are also chipped. I haven't decided yet whether I want to like just leave the chips like how they are, because it's just, I mean, I knew they were damaged when I got them, or if I want to try and paint over it, because if I paint over it, I'm just going to do it with acrylic paint. It's not going to have the glaze on it. It's not going to be the shiny or anything like that. So I'm almost thinking it might be better to just leave them. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think I should like actually try and fix these up and like paint them a little bit, or should I just kind of leave them and be like, you know, it's part of their charm, it's part of their character? And then I found this guy. I am a super fan of blue. So I found this really big mug that is also, of course, chipped or whatever, but like put a little hole in the bottom of that, and that will also make a really great planter of some sort. And then, after having watched Planting Memories, one of his most recent videos where he made a tiny little terrarium, and I went online and I looked up those little glasses that they put on the wood, and I was like, that's way too expensive. I went to the thrift store and I found this. Isn't that huge? I think it fits on my head. It totally would if my hair clip wasn't in the way. Take off my hair clip. It goes on my head. So anyway, it's a really, really big bowl. Really, really big glass bowl. And I am going to... The plan is to at some point do like a terrarium in this guy. Obviously it's pretty big. I do not have enough carnivorous plants to fill this up. But I think it would be really cool. I also have to find peat moss that doesn't have fertilizer in it, because I have some Miracle-Gro peat moss, but they definitely have put fertilizer in their Miracle-Gro peat moss, and that would not be good for my carnivorous plants. So that is the plan. I don't know how quickly I'm going to get to that. I probably would end up having to either, I don't know, find out if a nursery nearby has some peat moss that doesn't have fertilizer in it, or order some from offline. Okay, the other thing I really wanted to show you guys. All right, so some of you guys might remember my light prints. This is actually a lipstick, a variegated lipstick plant. And I got it when it was about like this big. It was a terrarium plant, and I have grown it out since then. I didn't know what it was when I got it. I found out a lot later. I saw it on a website and asked, I actually saw a picture of it on a website, and I asked the people who own the website what it was, and they told me the name. It's got, you know, a scientific name, because of course it does, but it's also called a light print, so that's what I call it. And I recently was like, it's getting kind of long. Let me take a cutting and make sure that it propagates right before I, like, you know, cut the whole thing up and blah blah blah. It does propagate very well. And apparently, it was super happy with being propagated because it put out one of its blooms, which is like ridiculously huge and fuzzy, and I mean, like, this bloom is just awesome. And I was really upset because the main plant has never bloomed. And now I'm like, why did this one bloom? Maybe... So I'm actually trying to see if I can keep it a little better watered, that maybe because this one has extra water, that's why it ended up blooming. It has roots on it and everything, like it grew, but I really want the whole plant to bloom, and so I've been trying to put more water in this thing. But I wanted to show you guys this flower. This flower has actually been on here for, it's probably been almost a week. I mean, like, and the bloom is still there, and it's, like, doing well. So I'm not exactly sure how long the bloom will last or how long they're supposed to last, but it's lasted a pretty decent amount of time. But I wanted to show you guys this before it goes away, just in case I never get another bloom out of this plant again. We'll see. Okay, next thing is this. I was looking around for some pots because, like, I have all my little propagations that I've been doing, and I don't have a ton of pots that are the right size to take my propagations out of the little propagator and put them into soil, because I really have a limited number of pots that are of the right size. So I went looking for pots online, and I found some on the Greenhouse Megastore. And in addition to the pots, in addition to the pots, they also had like it's like Greenhouse Megastore. They sell stuff for if you're a greenhouse. And so I went ahead and got some other stuff too. Why is there a second packing slip in here? I don't know. Like the same, I mean, it's not the exact same thing. But anyway, I got a whole bunch of 2.5-inch square pots. Like a whole bunch of 2.5-inch square pots. Because, like, that's the right size for, you know, growing something out. Or at least, like, like, that's about the size I want, right? And then, okay, that's a little ridiculous. I told you I got a lot of these. Part of the reason I got these is they came in packs of 32, and each pack of 32 was only like $2. So I went ahead and got a lot of them. And then what I ended up getting were show you this first. I got some, what did I knock over? Oh, okay, just that. I got some trays. So just, you know, normal, like you would see in a place trays that these guys can all go in, you know, and then they sit in there. And these came in packs of 10, so I had to buy 10 to get that. And then I also got these vent covers. Which go on top of that. Not sure if you guys can see. All right. Ugh. So these goes on these, and so that I have this, and then it also has like a vent thing where you can open it up so that it can get some fresh air, or you can close it so that the humidity goes up in it. These were a little expensive, but I figured this would make my propagation like much easier. And so I got this and I got that, and obviously these are, again, these also came in a pack of 10 where I had to get 10 of them in order to even make the order. So obviously I'm not going to be using all of these because that would just be like a lot of plants. But I figured I might as well go ahead and order them so that I have the 1 or 2 that I'm going to actually use, and then later on when I'm growing stuff for outside for this spring or any of that kind of stuff, I can just go ahead and use these. And then obviously I got a good number of my little pots here. That one's a little bent, but he's fine. I got my little pots here that will go in there, and so yeah, I'm super excited about that. And then because I wanted to, actually I guess I should put these away. I know, it's a lot of pots, I admit, but they were not expensive, which is the nice thing. And then I wanted to show you guys updates on my propagations because they've actually been doing pretty well. So this one here, I have, this is a Benny Toshiba, so that one's been doing pretty well. I think this is a black fancy in here. Are you doing anything yet? Actually doesn't look like it's doing anything yet. I think this is one of my $3 begonias, or a cutting from my $3 begonia that's been just kind of growing roughly. And then my watermelon begonia here, the leaf is rotten out a little bit, but it's got some roots and some, see if I can show you guys. It's gonna be kind of hard. There's some roots and some, plants or some leaves growing up out of there, just beginning. And so that's one of those. One of my smaller ones. I'm going to show you guys all the small ones first, and then I'm going to show you the big one. Okay, and this one, This is actually a cutting off of my Hoya Crimson Princess. It didn't have any variegation on it, so I just cut it off. It's rooting, but it's not putting out any new growth points yet. And then here I've got 2 cuttings of my self-named Pearl Sky, Begonia Pearl Sky. This leaf is starting to grow a whole bunch of little leaves up in there, and then obviously this guy has stuck up a nice leaf. And so both of those are doing really well. Let's get rid of this weed. No weed. Yeah, those weeds, the little weeds that look like grass that seem to pop up out of my spag moss every now and then, they get some crazy roots on them, so I think it's better to just get rid of them before they get too big. Yeah. What do we got? Okay, here. All right, so this is obviously one of my other propagation guys. I have this taconite. So I have a begonia taconite growing in there. Those propagate so easily and they grow so fast. There's a begonia breakdance here, and then I have, yeah, I think that's not gonna make it. I was trying to do more of my begonia watermelon, begonia, and they seem to just be not really happy. How are you doing? All right, that one hasn't rotted yet. And then I also have my adorable little butterworts in here. They were not doing really well where they were. And so I put them in here to try and raise the humidity and get them going. And the two of them here look like they're doing really well. This one here is still a little rough, but he's not dead yet. So we're gonna see whether or not he comes back. Yeah, I don't know. The center of it looks dead, but the stuff on the bottom, the outside kind of looks like it's still okay. So I'm not sure exactly about that, but these guys I need to get out of here. And now that I have my new pots, that might be happening fairly soon. So, especially this poor taconite that's like grown up. He's basically just resting against the inside of the lid here. See, because he wants out. He wants to be his own plant. I recently chopped off the top of my Echeveria painted lady, and it is sticking out some new growth, which is just so sweet and adorable. Really happy about that. And then I have part of the Echeveria in here. This one's not doing so well, but that one has started growing a little bit. I really like this Echeveria, but it kind of started getting out of control, getting really leggy, and it got, oh no, that one is growing too. Never mind, down here next to the soil, it's got some growth in there too. It got mealybugs on it, and all the leaves were coming out deformed, and it was just ugly. So I took it apart, cut it into some different little pieces, and I've been propagating it. So. And now, I'm gonna move you guys down so you can see. This has been doing like really, really well. I don't know if you guys remember, man, this red kiss that I have, and then it died. Like, it died, but I made some cuttings of it before it died, and now I've got 4 of these plants in here, and they're all doing really, really well. I've got a taconite, I've got Deja Thornis. I'm pretty sure this is my raspberry swirl. I think this might be $3 begonia. Oh, I'm not sure if you guys can see. My $3 begonia is over here. I don't know what this one is yet. My guess would be Deco Daddy, but I'm not positive. Then I've got a whole bunch of break dances, and if you remember, part of the reason why I put these in here was because all the leaves were coming out really, really yellow. You can kind of see that there. See, these leaves were all yellow. Now all the new growth is coming in, and it's nice and dark, and it's looking good. And so I think it really was a nutritional issue, because they were just in sphagnum moss, and then when I've actually put them in soil, and it has worm castings in it for fertilizer, they started doing a lot better. That's a breakdance, that's a breakdance. I think this is I want to say this is a Peter Piper. I have no idea what that is. It might be an Etna. I have no idea what that is. Then I've got my Frosted Jade Primulina, a Loki Primulina, yeah, and then I have up here, you guys see, I have some this is an attempt to propagate my African Violet. So the leaf is just sitting in there. I don't see any growth yet, but the leaf is still alive. This is an attempt to propagate my Black Fancy. I do not know if that is being successful yet. And then I've got a whole bunch of little guys over here that actually all look like they're the same thing. They look like Deco Daddies, but I'm not sure. But they have gotten a lot bigger since I put them in here. They were like super tiny for a really long time, and they seem to be enjoying being in here. The only things that aren't really doing well, it seems like, and I'm going to turn this a little bit so you guys can see it better, are these guys in here. And I don't know whether they're actually in their own pots of soil. And apparently, I just looked now, they're growing roots out the bottom, but the leaves are completely devoid of color. On this one, as well as on this one, like all these new leaves coming out, just, they do not look healthy. And these are both Deja Thornis, so they're supposed to be green with silver. That does not look green and silver with me. And then this Begonia Red Kiss, unlike all the other ones that are in here, is just like really pale. It's not like a bright red. So I don't know why these three happen. Don't hurt that. I don't know why these three happen to not be doing well. They're in a different soil than the rest of this, so it's possible that I need to give them some fertilizer. I'm wondering if maybe I didn't put any fertilizer in the soil that they're in. And that's why they're pale yellow like that. But I'm not positive. But considering that everything else in here is doing like really, really well, I feel like it must be something wrong with this soil. And that's why those aren't doing well, because nothing else is suffering. Oh, I also have my Drosera in here. He's just been living his best life. He's in there to catch any fungus gnats that happen to, have you caught any? Oh, no, there's one. He's caught a couple, but he's just, I mean, he looks really good. Like, look at the dew on this guy. Isn't that awesome? I just love that. That's why they're called sundews. Really, really cool looking. But anyway, he's just been hanging out in there and enjoying the extra humidity. He might end up going in my terrarium that I'm going to build. But anyway, so all of this is doing really well. I am ending up with a lot more Begonia breakdances than I was expecting, for sure. So yeah, I'm going to have to decide what I'm going to end up doing with those, because oh my gosh, I suddenly have all these plants. I'm planning on offering them for sale in my area. But maybe in the spring I'll end up having to like ship out stuff just because I have so many of them. That or I have to stop propagating, but I don't really want to stop propagating. So anyway, that's super exciting. I'm so glad that those are all doing well. We're going to put the lid back on that. Yeah, a few of these are getting ready to outgrow this. But luckily, like I got my new containers, which are, I'm pretty sure, let's see. Oh no, they're about the same size. I can't really compare it. But anyway. Oh, and I've got these guys that I pulled out of there, they were in here, and a Taconite and a Deco Daddy that I just pulled out, and they've been doing great ever since they came out. I haven't had any problems with them having a lack of humidity or anything like that, or like the leaves crisping because they didn't have enough humidity. I really think it's just certain plants are, or certain begonias want more humidity than others. That's why, like I said, the Red Kiss, my Red Kiss it just kept declining and kept declining, and then I tried propagating and it wasn't propagating, and now finally it's like doing great. And then my $3 begonia, which had been doing super bad forever, and it's now over in my humidity grow tent, and it's doing great. I actually left the flap open a little long one day because I don't want it to be like 99% humidity in there, because that's just like, that's a lot of humidity. And I left it open, and it got down to like 50% humidity in there, and one of the leaves just started curling and crisping on the end. I'm like, okay, so you really just like, that's really weird, because that was a plant I got from Home Depot. Like, that wasn't even a plant that I got from like a nursery or something like that, and apparently it just doesn't do well with the lower humidity. So I don't know, it's doing well now. Oh, I forgot about this guy. So I got one of the Trending Tropicals collection begonias, the white polka dot one that kind of looks like a Sinbad, only it has white flowers on it. But I got it on clearance for $5, basically because I wanted this pot. I wanted the pot with the little cash pot that goes in it, the little nursery pot that goes in it. And then I figured that if I get any, because I mean the plant's not dead, it just looks terrible. So I figured that this, I can, clean this up, regrow some of it. I haven't even cleaned this up yet. There's a whole bunch of dead leaves in here, but I could clean that up, grow some of it, and then maybe pass that along to some other people, because not everybody was able to get the Trending Tropicals collection, and they might have liked this. This is a really cool looking begonia. I really like just the multitude of the dots all over it. But anyway, but I got that for $5 because I figure I'll propagate these, and then I have the pot, which is a really nice pot. They had some ZZs there too, for only $3. They were the Trending Tropical ZZs, but they were in plastic pots as opposed to I don't think it's ceramic, but it is something that is not plastic. And so that's, yeah. Anyway, oh, I also had a breakout of mealybugs on my primulinas, which really pissed me off. Partially because it's so hard to wipe mealybugs off of these hairy leaves. And I sprayed the worst ones down with isopropyl alcohol mixed with water, and then I waited to see if they died. They have not died. This one always looks like this. It's always a little bit yellowing. I'm not sure if I've quite figured out the knack for that one, but this is the other one that I sprayed, and I'm actually giving it a quick, oh man, I'm looking at it, and it's got a whole bunch of little mealybugs on it, and I don't know whether they're dead or not. I'm not sure if you can see those, but the plant itself at least is fine. And it's got a little fuzz under there. So I'm probably going to be still battling these. I've got them all separated now so that they're not touching each other, because I had them up on the shelf like so close together because they're getting so big now, and now I've got them separated so that they're not touching, and I'm going to try and stem the tide of the spread and then get the mealybugs off of here. It's still not that bad of an infestation, but it's annoying. I know, right? Oh, how's my begonia? not even sure I want to show you guys my Begonia lucerne. I've been having so much trouble with that plant. I guess I will show you. So my Begonia lucerna has been doing this. All the leaves get soft and flaccid, like on certain parts, and then start crisping, and then eventually the whole leaf goes. And it's been growing new leaves, which do not suffer from this, until they get bigger. And then they kind of go. And so I've been wondering if it isn't a humidity issue, because I didn't have this problem until winter started. And then as you can see from here, I actually took a bunch of cuttings and am attempting to propagate them in water to see if I can't, I don't know, keep that from happening. Like maybe it's a water thing, maybe it's a humidity thing, but it's happening on all these gorgeous, gorgeous, huge leaves that I have, and I don't have any idea. I might have to put part of it into my grow tent over there, and it might just have to survive until spring. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do, but I'm really upset about it. I don't exactly know, but the plant itself is healthy because it keeps growing new leaves. It's not like, it's not unhealthy. It's just, oh, see that one? Yeah, no, it started happening on that one too. And I have it right next to my new humidifier because I was hoping that that would stem the tide, but the humidifier keeps running out of water. Because I have a crappy house. I don't have a crappy house. My house is wonderful and it keeps me warm, but the heat definitely dries out the air down here, and so I just have really low humidity. But anyway, so I'm gonna see how that goes with these guys, and yeah, I don't think I'm in any danger of losing the plant. Oh, this one's even already started putting out a root. I'm just gonna have to figure out the best way to keep them happy. I don't know. All right, I'm also gonna take you over here so that we can look in the humidity tent, which is currently at 94% humidity. Pretty crazy, right? So this philodendron silver sword has been doing interestingly. These leaves down here have never really been all that happy. So I'm thinking of actually chopping this whole thing up and just turning it into a whole bunch of propagations. My watermelon begonia is starting to look good. Look at that beautiful leaf. And that one back there. It's starting to put out new leaves that are looking really good. The old ones just never really recovered, which I guess technically you wouldn't expect them to. My Immaculata whitei is a lot happier in here. It gets a lot fewer dead leaves due to the sheath drying out. The leaves are still not growing all that big, but I mean it's a good plant. This one out, however, I don't know. I think these keep getting bigger. I don't know if that's because it's closer to the door, and so it loses a lot more humidity faster. But everything else has been doing pretty well in here. Oh, here's the $3 begonia. I did want to show you guys this. See, there's the one leaf that kind of curled and crisped, but all the rest of them are just doing really, really well in here. So it just wanted more humidity. And I finally got a 2-foot light to go in here, and moved all this around so that my alocasias and my one Zabrina and then my little Immaculata cuttings are all at a decent height away from the light, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so that is basically most of what's been going on down here, and some of the new stuff too. Obviously, I just unpacked the new trays and domes for that kind of thing, and I'm feeling a little less overwhelmed, even though I have more stuff. I don't know. I've been feeling very overwhelmed recently, where I'm just like, don't even want to come down here and work on my plants, and luckily I've kept them all alive. Or at least for the most part. But yeah, so I've been getting back into that a little bit, and hopefully I want to organize some stuff now that I have these new trays, these new pots, and everything like that. That's probably going to be a different video, just because I still kind of have to figure out all what I'm going to do with all those. And so if you like this video, go ahead and like this video. If you'd like to stick around and see more of my updates, go ahead and subscribe. And thank you very much for spending some of your time with me today. It's always nice to be able to show some of the stuff that's going well, especially when I've been feeling kind of about the whole plant thing. And I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.